Producing over 500 hours per week of talk radio, GCN Live is a world leader in talk radio. Archives for the following program can be found at gcnlive.com.
Welcome and thank you for listening to the Naseema Omer Show produced by Genesis Communication Network. You can catch my show by going to gcnlive.com. Enjoy listening live or to the archive podcast. You can listen to this on your smartphone. We have an app, GCN app. You can download that, install it, and enjoy shows anywhere you are. I am very excited to interview Master Ricardo today on martial arts. I've always had an interest in martial arts ever since I was a teen because my brother took some martial arts back in school, elementary school or high school. And that was my very, very first introduction to martial arts. So without further ado, I just want to say a quick hello. Hello, Master Ricardo.
Hello, Mrs. Naseema. It's good to be here.
Thank you so much for taking time off your busy, busy schedule and coming down to Burnsville, Minnesota in the studios. I have Master Ricardo right here with me in the studio. And we will start by, I'd like to know a little bit more about you, Master Ricardo, as with our listeners. Tell us a little about you and how did you come about to have this passion in martial arts? Did you do some other sports before then, or how old were you? How did you know that this was your passion?
It's funny because for me in particular, I got interested in watching movies, like a lot of kids. I grew up on the Bruce Lee movies and Chuck Norris and, just a lot of the Chinese cinema and things like that. And I always knew, I didn't know what the words were. I didn't know what Taekwondo, I didn't know Kung Fu, Karate. I didn't know the differences or what they all meant, but I knew I wanted to do that. I grew up in a ranch. My dad, a cattle rancher and also construction worker. So, we're from Mexico, but he would work here in the United States, and then we would, stay at home, kind of take care of the cows. That was that way until probably I was about 10 or so.
So you were always athletic because growing up on a ranch I translate that to work. A lot of work.
Oh, yes, ma'am, definitely.
A lot of work, yeah.
Yeah, we start our days at 4 a.m., milking cows, things like that. So, yeah, that was pretty normal for us growing up. And then, when I came to the United States, probably was about 9 or 10, something like that.
Okay.
Dad decided to bring the whole family up. And so, from that point forward, started American schools, started seeing televisions, things like that. And that's kind of when I said, that's what I want to do.
Okay, that's when you got into the movies too, Bruce Lee movies and
right,
stuff.
Definitely.
Do you have siblings who got into martial arts as well?
I have 2 brothers and 2 sisters. And it's funny, when we first started Taekwondo, we got a flyer in the mail that was a free trial. It's very similar to the one that I still offer to this day. And so for the first month, the whole family did it. It was me, the 2 brothers, 2 sisters, so all 5 of us did it. But after the first month, those 4, they thought it was crazy. They're like, no, this is nuts. We're doing push-ups on our knuckles, and he's making us run. Oh yeah, so
yeah, work and dedication and discipline, right?
Definitely, yeah, lots of that. And but yeah, for me, like I said, it was fun. I just fell in love, and I was like, this is what I wanted. This is what I thought it was going to be, and so that was 24 years ago.
Wow! And how many hours a week would you practice or? Well, be involved with that?
My instructor had classes 5 days a week, and so I would go every day.
After school.
After school, yeah. We do school. I do kind of my chores and things, which usually involve helping my dad on construction sites. And then after that, we do the 1-hour class. When I got a little bit more advanced, I actually started helping out at the class I started in. But then after that, I would stick around for the advanced class, which was mine.
And squeeze in the homework for school somewhere in between.
Yeah, yeah. There's always that,
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No. I just wanted to say, tell me a little history about martial arts and how did you decide which style of martial arts you wanted to be involved in or you liked the best?
Sure. Well, I mean, as I said, when I first started, I didn't know the differences.
Right.
Most martial arts, the theory is that they all originated from China. So at some point, someone had the idea of martial arts, and that was in China, thousands and thousands of years ago, and then slowly it just kind of started spreading throughout Asia and things, and there's martial arts all over the place. Taekwondo, which is the style that I've been doing for the majority of my time, that's Korean. So at some point, martial arts was there. That what they tell us, the history of Taekwondo started about 2,000 years ago.
Okay.
So 2,000 years ago, there's archaeological evidence in Korea of martial arts being practiced. They know that. They even have traced down the two ancestral forms. The most common being, there was one called Taekyon and there was another one called Subak.
Now, did this all come about, even the birth of martial arts, was it more for defense or it was more from a physical discipline, meditation part? Because aren't there so many different things all weaved into your practice and the art of martial arts? Right.
No, that's exactly right. But yeah, the original form was very much self-defense. The theory is, villagers trying to protect themselves from anything from wild animals to neighboring villagers. Eventually, other bandits and things would attack. And so that was the need. It's particularly in China when it hit the Buddhist temples and things, that really merged it and started adding more of the philosophical aspects of it and things like that.
I see. Very interesting. So you kind of lean towards Taekwondo, which is a Korean style.
Yes, ma'am.
And what makes Taekwondo different? I mean...
Well, if we're speaking in very broad, generic terms, you look at the majority of the Chinese arts, the kung fu's, what they'll call nowadays in China wushu. Those tend to be a lot of flowing circular movements.
Okay.
If you look at, for example, the Japanese styles, which is, if you look at kung fu is the big Chinese style, the big Japanese style is karate, and so that tends to be very straight, linear motions, a lot of short, straight, linear motions. What I always loved about Taekwondo, once I learned more about the differences, was that Taekwondo kind of combines both. They learned the straightforward, linear motions of karate, but they also had influence from the Chinese and the flowing circular motions. And most Taekwondo styles merge the both pretty well.
Nice. I like that too. Now tell me about your studio and how did you get started in being involved in your studio?
Sure. Well, the name of my studio is Ambition Taekwondo, so you can check us out at ambitiontkd.com anytime.
That's T as in Tom, K as in karate,
and D as in deer.
David.
Yep, David. Anyone. Yep.
.com. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so for us, I started teaching probably, I want to say about 4 years ago now. So with my own school, I should say, because prior to that, I would train and I'd also teach at various different schools over the years. I originally started teaching at my instructor's gym as an assistant. He was in Northern Nevada. That's actually where I lived when I started training in Taekwondo.
Okay.
And so I trained with him until I left Northern Nevada in about 1997. So from about 1990 to about 97.
Awesome. So tkd.com. If you're interested, look up the information, class schedule, how you can get started. Also, you are located locally here in Minnesota, Twin Cities area, in Eagan, in the city of Eagan,
yes,
Minnesota.
Ma'am.
Okay. So, so you started your studio. How long ago was that?
Yeah, it was about 4 years ago.
Okay.
I was teaching. A friend of mine has a gym in Mendota Heights.
Okay.
And I taught with him probably for about 10 years. Maybe a little less, closer to 9. But, I figured, okay, time to try and do my own. I did a lot here, and so I decided to go on my own.
Very nice, very nice. So, what would be something, I know we're in an audio file, so it's hard for people to see and picture it, but what are some easy pointers that you like to just share with somebody, some simple pointers on defense, self-defense?
I would say one of the biggest ones, and probably the easiest one, as you said on a radio program, would be balance. It's funny because we spend a lot of time teaching stances and positions when you first learn, and a lot of people don't understand why. And the biggest thing is simple things like posture. If you don't know how to hold yourself, how to carry yourself, that's gonna play a factor in how you move, how you move and your health, but it's also gonna play a factor in what you can and can't do.
I see. That makes total sense. So when you started, did you start with your studio teaching children, or did you just kind of merge into everybody at one point at the same time, is what I'm trying to say? Children, adults, families.
Sure. Well, we actually we have our classes separated from youth, kids, and family. I like to teach all of them. There's advantages and disadvantages to both. There's things I love about the kids class. There's also things I want to pull my hair out about the kids class. Same thing with the adults. There's things I love about the adult classes, and at the same time, I'll find that same reaction from time to time with the adults also. So we teach everybody. My saying is I teach them as young as 4 and as old as 104.
Oh, I like that. What is the youngest child that has come into your class so far?
So far, the youngest I've ever had was a 3-year-old that started with us.
Okay, wow.
3-year-old is tough because the maturity level is all over the board.
Yes.
Sometimes they could be every bit as up to speed and witty as a 5-year-old. Other times, they're more closer to 1 and 2 years.
You're right. Attention span and...
Right, attention span, emotional, how they deal with situations and things. So that's why, as a generic rule, we say 4. On a case-by-case basis, I will take them as young as 3.
I see. And what's the oldest person?
The oldest person I've ever taught was 73.
Okay,
and I should know, 73 when she started.
Okay.
It was pretty funny. She came in and it looked like, what you think about as an old lady. She had the short hair, white, walked very slow, but she's very witty, very hilarious. And her whole thing was that she went into the doctor's office one day. The doctor said, look, you're eating everything right. You're doing all of that stuff good. We've got all your medications are where they're supposed to be. Everything looks real good, except you need more fitness.
Okay.
You're not getting enough physical activity. And so her perspective on that was, I don't want to do old lady sports. She said, I don't want to be in the pool, with shaking around.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to play badminton. I want to be tough. I want to do something tough.
Yeah.
And she trained with us for about 4 years and did really well.
Now, was she a tiny lady, a big lady?
She was, I would say average, for women, so probably about 5'4", 5'3", something like that.
Okay.
And like I said, her big thing is she wanted to be tough. The only reason she stopped training with us is she lived with her daughter, and her daughter got a job transfer out of state. So she was very happy to train with us and really liked it, and really surprised me as well. At that time as a young instructor, you have a lot of preconceived notions about things. She really broke the mold.
Oh, nice.
So,
and she's still a student?
Not with us, but because as I said, they moved out of state. But as far as I know, her intention was to continue training.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Now my oldest right now, I believe, is 60.
Oh, nice.
So, and he's a nice gentleman that I actually used to work with. I used to do construction on the side.
Oh, well, you know what? It's good to know I won't be the oldest when I come get started, right?
Oh, no. Yeah.
So, that is very, very fascinating. And, that's a good point. I'm glad you brought up this lady's experience and her age at the age she started, kind of triggered or prompted by her physician to say, do something. But when we come back, I hear that music. We've got just a little bit of time to wrap that thought before going into commercial breaks. But I want to talk about how people may get intimidated by coming and starting at first. I mean, they shouldn't be intimidated, but yeah. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break.
So you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At contractorexam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective, multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, contractorexam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.contractorexam.com today.
Sciatica, lower back pain, hip pain, poor posture. If you suffer from any of these problems, get ready to relax. Introducing an amazing product that's been in the market for over 25 years, the Sacro Wedgie. It was invented by a football coach using a common-sense osteopath technique. He created this device to help his athletes by isolating and supporting the sacrum, which is the keystone of our anatomy. This wedge-shaped bone is in the center of our hips, where a lot of pain starts. Simply relax 20 minutes daily on the amazingly simple Sacro Wedgie and let gravity do the work, helping muscles rebalance and start releasing nerves. Sit in the Sacro Wedgie at the computer or while traveling to help correct posture to finally help relieve those stubborn aches and pains for only $33.95. It's made in the USA, so click the family-owned website at sacrowedgie.com, spelled SACROWEDGY.com, or call 1-800-737-9295. That's 1-800-737-9295. Relax your back pain away with the Sacro Wedgie.
Removing bad taste and odor from your drinking water is easy. Removing the bad stuff you don't taste is what ProPure does best. Water the way nature meant it to be. Clean, crisp, and refreshing. See the complete line of ProPure countertop, inline gravity, and household water filtration products. Visit your authorized ProPure dealer or ProPureUSA.com. That's ProPureUSA.com or call 800-544-3533.
Are your Google search results killing you? Unflattering content in blogs, news articles, online reviews, social media, or other sources can jeopardize your reputation, your business, and your livelihood. Let Reputation.com help. Our patented technology will make the truth about you more visible while pushing down unwanted negative content. Improve your Google search results. Call Reputation.com at 1-800-831-0771 for a free consultation. That's 800-831-0771.
Are you sneezing, coughing, and aching? Do you have a sore throat, a fever, or the sniffles? There's no reason to be sick this cold and flu season with immune system support from Supernatural Silver. Supernatural Silver can give your body the help it needs to fight off harmful pathogens without hurting beneficial gut flora and without leaving behind resistant bacteria. Antibiotics can damage good microflora and often leave behind bacteria which can cause problems later on. If you're sick of being sick, try Supernatural Silver. Supernatural Silver, the #1 choice of thousands for a safe and effective way to protect against the many diseases and illnesses that we are facing today. Go to supernaturalsilver.com, read our customer reviews, and see the life-changing results that people are having. That's supernaturalsilver.com. Supernaturalsilver.com. Use the promo code PROTECTED for 20% off your entire order. And like us on Facebook. Supernatural Silver.
Today, more than ever, it's imperative that you protect your digital privacy. EDEC Digital Forensics, signal blocking, anti-radiation, anti-surveillance Faraday bags shield the contents of your phones, tablets, and key fobs from 4G, Wi-Fi, GPS, Bluetooth, NFC, and more. Find us at edecdf.com/radio or call us now at 805-222-4584. That's 805-222-4584. Radio listeners get 20% off your order.
Welcome back. You are listening to the Naseema Omer Show, produced by Genesis Communication Network. Enjoy archives and recorded shows by going to gcnlive.com. That's gcnlive.com. Or to my website, naseemaomer.com. Today, I am interviewing Master Ricardo on martial arts, specifically the Ambition Taekwondo studio style on Taekwondo, which is a Korean style, is what I learned from Master Ricardo. Master Ricardo, why are so many people so intimidated to get started on martial arts classes, particularly in their adult life? So they may have that interest, but what holds them back is like, I don't know if I can do this. I have a fear of my physical abilities. Somebody else is so much better and flexible than me. I don't know if I'll be able to do it. What are some of those objections, and how do you overcome them?
Sure. Well, what's interesting about that is that, I think there's two things there. Number one, it boils down to the media. The very thing that helped us, promote, that helped, martial arts in general, helped, things like TV, things like movies, when you see, the great martial arts scene or the great training scene, those things, when martial arts really became big in the United States, we're talking early 70s and things, they did a lot to promote martial arts. At the same time, they did a lot to really put in a lot of myth and a lot of hype. And so, it's really common for us to have, students come in, adults, that'll say, I want to train, but, I'm not going to punch, walls. Or, I saw this documentary and the guy was punching trees. I don't want to do that. One of the other ones I'll hear is, why do we have to say yes, sir, and yes, ma'am? I'm a grown man, And so, like I said, I think the media does a lot, they're trying to show something in a way that's exciting. For a normal person that wants to try something new, that can be intimidating. So one of the ways that we've kind of gotten around that, or how we help put people at ease, is what I call my self-paced program. So all of our classes are self-paced. The idea being that you don't need any special skills. You don't need to be in shape. You don't need to be particularly flexible, because the program itself will help you with that. It'll enhance the abilities that you already have. At the same time, it'll start bringing these out at a safe pace. In a way that isn't going to be, you might not be able to break a board on your first day, but maybe in 2 months you'll know exactly how to do that, and then it won't be this intimidating thing. So I think, like I said, I think the media does a lot with that, whether intentionally or unintentionally. The other big thing I think with adults is that, I think as adults we've been hit or knocked down enough times that we're not dreamers anymore. Most little kids, I'd say 99% of the students that I have that are kids will come in and they have these ideas, and they want to be Power Rangers, and they want to be, ninjas, and they want to do all these things. Yeah. Right. Yeah. We laugh at that. We go, oh, that's cute. As an adult, we've seen why that's funny. We've seen why that's cute. But now we're going into a place like this and we're going, oh, I can't do that. I can't be a ninja. I can't be a Power Ranger. And so I think that's a societal thing, and it's a little bit sad. We've gotten to a point where we're scared to try things. We're scared to try things as adults because we've been made to look a fool before. We've fallen down, and so that's a lot of what I try to take into consideration when I'm working with a new student, is to try and make them feel comfortable so that they will try. So nobody here is going to pull the rug out from under you. Right. Right. Because, like I said, to me, those are the two things that does, is that misconception born from media, and then the life, just crashing into things, whether accidentally or successfully or unsuccessfully. The fascinating thing is just my little exposure, as I was interested in martial arts, having been exposed to it from my brother. I did actually take a little bit of martial arts way back when. But what I learned from that in yes sensei, no sensei, or yes sir, no sir, or whatever, and that discipline is, in addition to those physical exercises, or working at your own pace, it just kind of mentally grounds you, doesn't it? It kind of disciplines you and just kind of grows you to another level, I think. Definitely. Yeah, no, I think, the discipline is an important aspect. And I think nowadays as a society, I think we look at discipline as negative. I think we look at, you're saying yes, sir to someone, that means you're subservient. It's like, no, yes, sir, and no, sir, and yes, ma'am, and things like that are the root of courthumility. If you can be courteous, if you can have respect, if you can do those things, that helps. It does. It just humbles you some, right? Definitely. Yeah. Yep. I hear that music. Don't you love that music? Yeah, it's just you like it? Are you just saying that? No, it's calming. I like that. Thank you. I like it too. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
If survivalist housing has been in your plans, get ready. We're bringing our Timberline range camps to you February 6th through 14th, the Great American Outdoor Show in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Get an up-close look at some of our most popular Timberline models, or visit survivalistcamps.com to pre-order a camp. We'll bring it to the show and save you the cost of shipping. It's the perfect time to get that camp you've wanted. Go to survivalistcamps.com, then plan on joining us at the Great American Outdoor Show in February in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Is negative content or comments on the web affecting your personal or professional reputation? Unfavorable comments, embarrassing pictures, videos, legal documents, and negative articles can ruin your personal life, your career, or your business. It happens a lot, and it's just not fair. But what can you do? ReputationDefender.com can help protect your good name. Get a free consultation now. Call 800-831-0771. That's 800-831-0771. Call right now for a free expert reputation analysis. It's easy to squash the unfair attacks with our patented system, and the analysis is absolutely free. Make the best things about you jump out in searches. Protect your personal and professional reputation, your business, and your income. Get your free reputation analysis from ReputationDefender.com right now. Call 800-831-0771. 800-831-0771. That's 800-831-0771. Or visit ReputationDefender.com today.
My dad was 59 when he collapsed from a heart attack late last year. Just this past August was when we spread his ashes on the St. Croix River. I loved my dad, but boy was he stubborn. He hadn't been to the doctor in over 25 years. His excuse? He simply couldn't afford it. He wasn't a rich man by any means. At less than $107 per month, LibertyOnCall.org would have been the perfect alternative for my father. Don't wait. Go to LibertyOnCall.org right now, for not just your sake, but for the sake of your loved ones. Again, that's LibertyOnCall.org.
Chronic inflammation is now known to block your ability to repair and compromises your immune system, making you more vulnerable to all diseases. Since poor diet, injuries, or stress are all contributing factors, many people suffer from inflammation. Your body's number one means of neutralizing inflammation and the pain that it may be causing is glutathione. Glutathione is the body's number one peptide to neutralize free radicals and thus stop inflammation.
Hi, my name is Jason. I'm 44 years old. For 10 years, I had been suffering from chronic pain in my abdomen and groin that radiated down into my feet. After 3 weeks on One World Way, the pain in my feet reduced by 50%, and the overall pain in my body reduced significantly as well. I ran out of One World Way, and the pain returned. I got another container, and again, after 3 weeks, the pain reduced significantly throughout my body. I'd highly recommend One World Way to anyone dealing with chronic pain due to inflammation.
Call 888-988-3325 or visit oneworldway.com. That's oneworld, WHEY.com.
Water is the single most important thing your body needs, so you want to be sure it's the best for you and your family. Since 2005, thousands have depended on Berkey purified water. The Berkey Guy provides the lowest priced filtration systems in every size. For incredibly delicious water now and in an emergency, get to GoBerkey.com or call 877-886-3653. 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com.
The Genesis Communications Network is one of America's premier broadcasters of captivating talk radio. We thank you for listening. Now, just imagine, there are thousands of people who are just as passionate about radio as you are. But what you may not realize is how easy and affordable it is to advertise with us. Radio commercials for your business could be heard on hundreds of radio stations across the U.S. every day. We can help you by creating an effective radio advertising campaign for your company. From script writing to producing your commercial, just like the one you're listening to right now. No other network provides the level of customer service we do. When it comes to radio advertising, we are your one-stop shop. And no matter how big or small your business is, we can help. Email us at advertise@gcnlive.com, and an experienced advertising executive will help you take the first step towards driving more customers to your business or website. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
Welcome back. You are listening to the Naseema Omer Show. I am interviewing Master Ricardo today on martial arts. He has his own studio here locally in Eagan, Minnesota, called Ambition Taekwondo. His website is tkd.com. That's T as in Tom, K as in Kung Fu.
Perfect.
D as in David.com. Look that website up. And Master Ricardo, we were talking a little about discipline and how it empowers and grows people and makes them a little more humble, etc. And I bet you've seen this transformation even in children.
Oh, yes,
right?
ma'am, definitely, yeah. I mean, the children, it's funny because with the children, they're learning it. Everything is new. It's one of the reasons why everything is so exciting when you're a child. Everything is brand new. So they don't always know about these rules. They don't always know about it. Or maybe they heard it from their parents and they think, is this really it? So when they go to a Taekwondo class, it's another environment for them to see it and to see it in a positive light. Because as I said before, people look at discipline as negative, but I think it's the root, to me, it's the root of respect and courtesy, but it's also the root of goal setting. It's also, to me, it feeds into success. It feeds into character.
I believe so, too. I believe so completely. And, in fact, if the family's not involved, then it trickles over and passes on to the family certain areas of that respect, etc. Because, in our world, as you know today, things aren't the way it used to be. And in many areas, we lack just mutual self-respect from one person to another, whether it's an older person, younger person, or a co-person, same age type of thing. Master Ricardo, I understand you have several events coming up. What in particular do you have this evening?
Yes, ma'am. So this evening we have, it's called our Parents' Night Out event. As you know, tomorrow is Valentine's Day. So what we thought we'd do is, a lot of people on Saturday are going to go out and want to go out in the town. So we have what's called our Parents' Night Out. It's a paddleball event. So paddleball is a game that we play in Taekwondo sometimes. It's very similar to like a soccer or hockey, if you will. We have a Nerf ball and we have 2 goals, things like that. But that'll go from 6 to 10, and so it's 4 hours. So I tell the parents in the class it's 4 hours of freedom. You drop the kid off.
So they come check the kid in and...
Yep, they check the kid in at 6, and then they don't have to pick him up till 10.
Date night.
Well, yeah, it was perfect date night. We'll play some games. We'll eat pizza. We usually end with a movie. Things like that. It's all inclusive.
How big are your classes? I mean, do you have assistants who help you out at your studio? Do you limit the number of people in each class, or?
We don't limit the number of people. We haven't had that need yet.
Okay.
We have about 70 students, and we also have about 5 classes a day, and we teach 6 days a week. So
very nice.
People can really pick and choose kind of what works best for them. So our average class size right now, I would say, is probably about 15.
Okay. What is this special event called? That's from 6 to 10 tonight.
That's our Parents' Night Out.
Parents' Night Out. And can a newbie come in and do this, or do they have to be pre-registered? Or?
Oh, yeah, no, they can. We're doing registration all the way up to the day of, so you can register today.
Okay.
You come in. There's some basic paperwork to fill out and things. There's a cost involved for it. It's only $25, but for 4 hours,
that's a very reasonable price and a very positive environment where the kids will learn a lot by interacting with sport and game and playing. That's exciting. What have I missed? I'm trying to think about what I can ask you next. By the way, that's nice. If my kids were a little younger and I needed someone to,
sure,
keep some fun activity for the kids to be busy with so I could go out on a date night, I'd be there.
Well, the event is open to the public, so I mean, even if you're not already an Ambition Taekwondo member, you're more than welcome to come and sign up. We just had a call this morning by a gal who wanted to sign up her grandson. She heard about it through Facebook.
Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. Fantastic. What about uniforms? Are the students required to wear uniform?
We do a uniform. That's usually that's included in the registration price.
Okay.
So when students register for regular Taekwondo classes, that's included for them. They wear a white uniform. In Taekwondo, the uniform is called a dobak.
Okay.
And literally just means the garment of the way.
Okay.
And
why is it typically white in color?
There's a lot of different theories. White signifies purity, things like that. I look at it as it's a clean slate. You're starting off as a blank page, and you're learning, building and learning, and so it's kind of like it's a blank sheet, and then whatever you put in there. To me, that's kind of the symbolism of the white uniform.
Okay. Interesting.
Well, maybe we should talk about when are you coming in, Mr. Thiem? I know we've talked about it a couple times.
I know. Yes, Master Ricardo. I know we met again very recently at the Burnsville High School Career Night. And I won. By the way, I won a free 2-week membership at your studio. And I'm very excited to get that started. And hold my feet to the fire, Master Ricardo. My intention is to start before March the 1st, so.
Sure. No, I believe me. I will definitely be on you to make sure.
I know you're so good at that.
So, well, for me, one of the things I love about teaching adults is to hear their stories. For me, I'd like to know, what makes someone, for example, we were just talking before about you're very fitness conscious, you're very athletic, do a lot of things. What draws you to martial arts? Because often I find that the appeal is very different than my own.
Yes. Thanks for bringing that up. Me in particular, I've been meaning to do some sort of martial arts for a long time, but knowing me, I guess I haven't made it a priority in my life, in my schedule at this point, and I want to make it my priority in my life and in my schedule. Number one, I'm aging too.
Sure.
Okay. And all these aspects that you talked about, more from the athletic and also the other aspects, I could definitely use some help in balance and all these other physical things. But most importantly, I don't teach my regular fitness classes anymore. And I feel like I'm not that disciplined to do my own fitness routines unless I am pushed to a commitment of having a class to teach or having clients to do one-on-one trainings. And so this is something I'm looking forward to. And secondly, and also most importantly, so I don't know which comes first or second, I want to be able to defend myself should anything happen, say, for example, walking down the street or in a parking lot and you hear of too many crazy things these days.
Sure.
Not that it wasn't there before. Maybe it was there, but we just didn't hear it. But now we have the technology where information gets passed on more readily, and so I want to be prepared.
Right. No, I agree. It does seem like it's more prevalent now, the need for self-defense. And so for us, that's definitely a part of what we teach. The other thing I thought was interesting about what you said is the idea of the discipline. Most people, I can't tell you how many of my adult Taekwondo students have a regular gym membership somewhere. And either they never go or they go for 10 minutes and then they're gone. And I think the reason for that is that when you have a class, when you step in and you have someone that can kind of help guide you, I think that does a lot for you as an athlete,
Mm-hmm. It's similar to that building relationships. I know I've had shows that talk about that and how powerful that can be. Not that you need to network and communicate with everybody in the class setting or whoever, but even if there's one person, accountability to your own self to see that progress, it helps.
No, definitely.
Some people don't need that. They may pay their subscription or membership and go religiously every day, but some people need that additional help.
Right, and I think that person is more the exception, not the rule. I think most people need someone there to kind of go, okay, hey, now it's time to do this, or let's do that. I know for myself as I've gotten older, I think that accountability helps a lot.
Yeah, I'm very excited. You will be seeing me in the studio before you know it.
That's good. I look forward.
Before March the 1st, this year.
Definitely this year. Yes,
this year. That's exciting, but we'll connect. We'll connect in a week or so because I want to get all set up with my uniform and everything.
Yeah, I look forward to it.
And I suppose I can't resurrect I think it was yellow. No, I had a green one too. I'm trying to think. I put my kids in martial arts too, but it didn't stick with them. They didn't have that keen of an interest. But I was trying or hoping to have them do it and live my dream, so to say, one of the things that I wanted to do. So now I'm going to put it in action.
Well, one of the other things to keep in mind is it's never too late to start again. With the kid thing, I've seen a lot of people start that way. A lot of my adults start that way. They want their kid to do it, and then they want to start, and then sometimes the kid won't want to do it anymore, but the adult will still want to do it, or the opposite happens. But one of the great things about that is that people can come and go all the time.
Yeah.
I always tell people, Taekwondo is forever. It's for everyone and it's forever. So
right. And I must share this if I may. You may know that I am a Youngevity independent distributor, and the flagship items are supplements and nutrition and all that. Mm-hmm. And any sort of athletic action or activity or other things, in particular if someone is training on a daily basis, my take on that is you got to be careful on what you put in your body and what you do not put in your body.
Definitely.
To help with that. So I think that kind of gives that awareness because, you will feel that physical fatigue. You will feel being pushed to your limits once you get to that pace or level.
Definitely.
And endurance and stamina and all those pieces. And so that's another angle that it'll help me with my networking as well.
Definitely.
Because I'm very passionate about that area because, people could live longer, healthier. And if there's a way to do it, why not?
Right, definitely, yeah, and yeah, I mean, obviously the nutrition and supplements and things is a big part of that. But then the activity, in the Asian cultures they call it the water principle.
Okay.
And what the example is that you think of your body as a body of water, and so if you look at a pond or even like a small lake, that water's not clean. That water's usually very dirty. Usually as you're walking towards it, there's a smell, very murky. You can't see at the bottom.
True.
Now, look at, for example, a river. And a river is always flowing. So the water is always clean. You can always usually see down into the bottom. As long as that river's flowing, once it starts to get backed up or bogged down, again, it starts getting dirty. And so the body is kind of that same way. If your body's always in motion, if you're always doing something where you're moving, for example, Taekwondo, that'll always kind of keep that stream running and always keep that body clean and healthy.
Absolutely. Movement is so critical and elementary and needed, essential in helping our systems work. I hear that music.
Yeah, it's that time already.
It is that time. Wow, time flies when we're having fun. You are listening to the Naseema Omer Show, interview with Master Ricardo.
We use mobile devices right against our bodies every day, but growing scientific evidence has emerged showing serious health risks associated with exposure to EMF radiation emitted from these devices. The solution is Defender Shield, the most effective mobile radiation shielding ever developed. Defender Shield blocks virtually 100% of EMF radiation from cell phones, tablets, and laptops, and starts at just $64.99. Buy now at DefenderShield.com. For 10% off, use promo code GCN. DefenderShield.com, the worldwide leader in mobile radiation shielding.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a Select Quote agent with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a $300,000 group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and can't take it with him. Well, I impartially shopped the highly rated term life insurance companies we represent and found Ray, who is 41 and takes medication to control his cholesterol, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $26 a month. That's almost twice the coverage for less than half of what he had paid. If SelectQuote hasn't shopped for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 1-800-403-4885. That's 1-800-403-4885. 1-800-403-4885. Or go to SelectQuote.com. We shop. You save. Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Your price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
Owe $10,000 or more to the IRS? Get on board with the Tax Admiral. Don't pick on the IRS alone. I'll cut penalties and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely. We're an A-rated company helping people clean up their mess with the IRS. If you owe $10,000 or more, then call the Tax Admiral.
Call 800-287-7180. Again, that's 800-287-7180. 800-287-7180.
Hi there, this is Dr. Joel Wallach, the Dead Doctors Don't Lie guy, and we're looking in this time of terrible financial crash, terrible meltdown of the medical system, we're looking to pay people obscene amounts of money if you become a student of our business at Youngevity. We will help you actually take care of people better than the medical system has. Think about it. We spend more money in America for health care than all the other 218 nations of the world put together, and they can't even solve weight loss problems. I mean, the medical system can have a total mental brain fart, and if you do this, you will be able to save an enormous amount of people from being overweight, being obese. They don't even know what causes obesity. Believe me, we know what causes obesity. In the medical system, they think it's from eating too much. It's not from eating too much. It's actually a mineral deficiency. Do you solve a iron deficiency anemia with a bone marrow transplant? That's what they think. Do you solve a mineral deficiency that causes obesity with a gastric bypass? That's dumber than a stump. Contact us at gcnminerals.com. Learn how to lose weight, look good, and save yourselves a gob of money.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
For over 5 years, you've been hearing about the Berkey guy, so you may know a few things about him. For example, you are well aware of the superior quality and effectiveness of Berkey water filters and accessories. But did you know the Berkeys have had independent lab tests done to prove just how effective they are? It's true, and he can email you the test results. Just visit GoBerkey.com. You may also know that the Berkey guy has helped tens of thousands of people get better prepared. Now here's something you may not know. GoBerkey.com has amazing specials and deals all the time on a wide variety of survival and preparedness products. Most ready to ship same day. Visit the Berkey guy at GoBerkey.com and be sure to click the red Products on Sale Now button. You can always call toll-free 877-886-3653. Again, that's 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com, home of the Berkey guy.
No other network provides the level of customer service we do. When it comes to radio advertising, we are your one-stop shop. And no matter how big or small your business is, we can help. Email us at advertise@gcnlive.com, and an experienced advertising executive will help you take the first step towards driving more customers to your business or website. Advertise at gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
Listening to the Naseema Omer Show. We are at the last segment of today's show. Interview with Master Ricardo of Ambition Taekwondo. Website is tkd.com. Master Ricardo, please remind us of the special event you have going on, and then also talk about this little free trial thing that if someone is interested that they could do.
Oh, yes, ma'am. So our Parents' Night Out then will be tonight. It'll go from 6 to 10. You can register anytime. It's only $25. It's a 4-hour event. We'll play games. We'll do some Taekwondo stuff. We'll watch a movie. It includes the meal. So siblings is only $15. They get $10 off if they have siblings. Mm-hmm. So that's our big event. And yeah, that's for the Taekwondo. We always do a 1-week free trial. So that's kind of our standing offer. You know, you met us through an event. So events will usually do a 2-week free trial, something a little bit more. But our standard, anybody just walking off the street, anyone is always welcome for a 1-week free trial.
Excellent. And the phone number to call to get started, if you do not go to the website or don't have internet or access to that, please call 651-600-3285 to Master Ricardo to get started. And his studio is located on 1959 Shawnee Road, suite number 115, Eagan, Minnesota, 55122. Master Ricardo, I know you give back to the community a whole bunch, and your students as well, and that kind of empowers them and makes them feel part of the community, because I know I've seen you and your team of students at the Burnsville International Festival.
Yes,
2 or 3 times in a year, and that is so amazing that you give little demonstrations, you have hands-on activities for the children, and this way your students also know that, it's not always about themselves, is it?
That's correct.
You have to live to be living in harmony, you gotta live with your community.
Yes, ma'am, definitely.
What are some of the things you do on that aspect? I know we have just a little bit of time, and I want to wrap up. What are your last thoughts? Talk about whatever you'd like to share with the public.
I guess I would talk about we have what's called the Tenants of Taekwondo. And so word for word, it's, Taekwondo aims to achieve courtesy, integrity, perseverance, self-control, and indomitable spirit. So we teach that with all of our students. And what we teach them is that we want to strive to live by those 5 things in everything we do, whether we're on the floor Taekwondo or whether we're out in the community. Because as Taekwondo students, we want to be leaders in our community. We want people to know who we are, not just from the business side, but from as a person. You want to be of value to your community. I've always grown up with the idea that it takes a village to raise a child. Mm-hmm. And as adults, for my adult students, I say, this is a chance for us to lead by example and kind of show these next generations how to behave and how to do things. And positive things, as we love going to these community events, we love doing the Burnsville International Festival. We do all the ones in Egan, and we've even done things for Girl Scouts, and that's one of the reasons why we do the high school career fair as well. I love the idea of letting those guys know, there's another avenue. Doesn't just have to be the same old 9 to 5. There's also Taekwondo. There's also these things. Sure.
And positive things that would be good for a person in child development and teen development and adult development, rather than getting stuck in the wrong crowd, so to say, which often happens and unfortunately leads a person to a path that may not be the choice path, that they may not realize until they're much older. So again, your website is tkd.com. The name of studio is Ambition Taekwondo. You are located in Egan, Minnesota, and your phone number is 651-600-3285. I want to also let our listeners know that if they have any questions on the show, or you want to get a hold of some information or have some feedback, please send me a note or call me. You can leave me a message if you don't reach me right away at 877-279-9422, 877-279-9422. And Master Ricardo, if I may tell you, thank you so much for taking your time, but I would love to invite you back sometime after I've been in your program for a while. How's that for holding my feet to the fire?
Oh, definitely. We'd love that.
Okay, so we can talk about my progress. That would be awesome. I hear that music again. Thank you once again, Master Ricardo.
Thank you, Ms. Naseema.
And thank you to all our listeners. Please share this with all your loved ones. Catch us on the YouTube channel, the Naseema Omer Show. I'll have video file with the audio and pictures.
Winter has just begun, and are you already tired of being cold? How would you like to never be cold again? This is Dale with Fortress Clothing, and I'm here to tell you, you will never be cold again with Fortress. If you're tired of freezing your butt off, elk hunting, sitting in a tree stand, deer hunting, winter camping, fishing, ice fishing, no longer fear the cold. If you snowmobile, ski, snowboard, get Fortress. Sledding with the kids, shoveling the walks, shopping, or if you or your spouse get cold feet at home, get Fortress. If you're stuck outside working in the cold or find yourself in an emergency situation, get our winter bug-out bag, and you will never be cold again. Fortress is the answer, so quit complaining and go to FortressClothing.com. It's a mid-layer garment that goes with anything you want to wear. Enter coupon code RADIO and get 20% off any item. Go now while we still have inventory. FortressClothing.com.
This is a healthcare alert from the Pain Relief Hotline. If you, a family member, or a loved one suffers from knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain and have Medicare as your primary insurance, we've got great news. You don't have to suffer any longer. You can immediately qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you by calling our 24/7 Pain Relief Hotline at 866-389-0620. Delivery is free and all paperwork is handled for you. If you are on Medicare and have knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain, don't wait. you can qualify to immediately receive a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost by calling our 24/7 pain hotline now at 866-389-0620. Our representatives are standing by 24/7 to take your call and rush you your pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you. Shipping is free and all paperwork is handled for you. Just call 866-389-0620. That's 866-389-0620. Again, 866-389-0620.